Well, I thought I'd make a little quick video on how I swap out my tires for my UTV. Here's my old set. I think these are pretty much the stock tires, probably when my Ranger came out of the factory. Tread's actually still pretty good. It's just they're hard, they're dry, and there's cracks. And I just got a nice puncture a couple months ago this summer, so it's just a good excuse to upgrade. So went on Amazon and picked up some of these SUNF tires. I don't know the exact brand or SKU of it, but I can link that in the description. But these ones are, the fronts are 27 by 9 by 12s, then my backs are 27 by 11 by 12s. But can't complain for 400 bucks shipped to my door in 2 days. I guess we'll try them out. They got a pretty aggressive tread to them, and these are a 6-ply versus the 4-ply on here. So I'm guessing for how old these are, they probably will feel about the same now, but I just put the backs on last night. The tires went on great. They've went on the bead just fine, so that's awesome. But I thought I'd show you guys just kind of how I do my tire change. I saw a lot of people, maybe people just don't care about the rims, but I guess if you don't have a tire changing machine, I could have brought them to a guy locally, but I just thought I'd do it on this cold winter day. I picked up a couple of tire irons from Harbor Freight. They work great for, these. I don't know if I trust them fully on a full-size pickup truck because they do have some bend in them, but if you don't take too big of a bite, they work pretty good. But I started using these chamois or fiber towels, and I just put them in between my bar and the rim, and that seemed to do a pretty good job about protecting my paint. And that was probably my biggest gripe. Every time I saw a video, no one seemed to care. Maybe because they're four-wheelers and they get dirty, but these rims are like 10 years old and they're in pretty good shape, so I really like to keep them that way. But I'll show you kind of how I do it and show you the end result. Well, here's a couple of tools you'll need. I've got 2 of the tire changers. I also got another just Prybar. It's kind of nice to have 3 to kind of walk yourself around. I have about 3 or 4 of these towels, and then dikes for cutting the old valves off, putting new ones on. So make sure you have some new ones of these. Good time to do it. Then I got a tire valve, kind of multi-tool. Pull the stem, also pull the new valves through. And then for putting the tires on, I kind of made a concoction of just some water, 50% water and 50% dish soap. Spray that around and makes for a pretty easy setup. But this is everything you probably would need for doing this. And then I also had some black paint. I'm just kind of repainting the back sides of my rims. They had a little bit of rust, so thought it'd be a good time to hit them quick and then put the new tires on. Well, it's a little backcountry, but I've got my little spare tire jack, scissor jack from my wife's car. And I don't have a tire bead breaker, but I've been putting it under my push bar here on my truck and on that bead, and that thing seems to pop it off just fine. So we're gonna go ahead and do that quickly. Here's the Ranger that we're redoing the tires on. Got the backs on last night. They look pretty sweet. Got about another inch of lift, but well, here's a quick look at what it looks like. So got it under the push bar. Just used my little Milwaukee impact and push that bead down and it pops pretty easy. So, well, don't mind force in the back, but we're back in the warm garage. So next we're gonna take, I got the mixture of soap and water. We're gonna shoot that around the rim a little bit, kind of help it pop off here. I'm gonna take my new tire iron, kind of get that in there. And before I pry on it, like we were talking before, I'm gonna get my little chamois in here to somewhat kind of help protect it when we're prying on it, protect the paint. Well, as you can see now, we got it popping off the bead here. It takes about, for at least me, it takes about 3 pry bars. But you can see I got all the cloths in there, kind of double fold them. That gives it the best protection. and now we'll just kind of walk ourselves around. So I got these two holding it. I'll take out my middle one and we'll head over to this side of it, and I bet you this will be the one that we get it popped off on. And here we go, got that last one, and there. So all that and no scratches on the rim, which was the goal. Now I gotta get it off the backside. And then kind of the same technique to get this back piece. I just fold a towel inside that rim, get my bars, kind of pull up on them and pull it off that rim. So pretty successful. I can't say we have any major gouges, which is what I want. So rims are kind of dirty. I'm going to clean those up, and then I'm going to hit them with some black paint, let them dry, and then we'll put the new tires on. Also got the new valve stems we got to cut off and put those in too. So that'll be next. All right, rims are off. That one's drying over there. Hitting it with just some degreaser here, cleaning out the back sides, and the paint's good. We'll just leave them. If not, we'll hit them with a little bit of spray paint just to keep the rust off of it. So we're gonna take care of that right now. They're pretty good, so maybe we'll just hit this backside with some paint. It'll be good. So we're gonna take these are the new valve stems. We got the core remover, so we're gonna take those out. Makes it easier for inflating that. Oh, hi buddy. Inflating the tires to get them set on the bead. I'm also using this, and we're snipping off the old stems. So pull that out, and I guess a good thing to know, at least on these ATV tires, a lot of them run, I think these are TR 412s, which is like a 0.45 rim hole. That's for the stock Polaris Ranger rims, steel rims. I actually got the TR 413s, which just means it's a little longer stem, so it's 1.25 inches versus a 3/4 stem. Kind of a screw up on my side. If I could have gotten the TR 412s, would have been a little shorter, which is good for four-wheeling and stuff, just so your tire stems don't possibly get nicked and ripped out. But this is what we have, so we're going to use those for now. All right, well, got a new tire here. This is a 27 by 9 by 12 tire. It's a SUNF tire. I picked it up off Amazon. 6-ply tire. It's going on a Polaris Ranger steel rim. First thing I'm going to do, I got a little cocktail of soap, just soap and water. I'll spray both sides of the rims, the beads, a little bit of the inside. I don't know how easy these will be. I did the backs yesterday, and I think they had a little more give in them. These ones don't have quite the pry, but taking our chamois again, it takes a little more time, a little more effort. I'm probably just going to wrap it around. There we go, get it on the outside of the rim. Now hold down here. We're going to start prying it out. Get our next one here. Again, wrap it with a towel. Alright, well, we had to pause it to get that last one on. It wasn't the easiest thing, but we got it on a couple Prybars. Now we're working on this top bead. I got it pushed down with got my hands and knees as far as I could. Now we're grabbing the bars with their rags, kind of working our way around this bead.
why it's nice having 3 bars, because it looks like we're going to need all 3. There. 3 bars, 3 chamois, little soap. We got it. Now I got a little 6-pound compressor here. Fill that up. It's from Amazon. Works pretty nice. Digital display. Kind of a game changer when you're doing the air. Pumping up tires all the time or whatever, just to give you a quick reading instead of having to pull it off. But let's pump this thing up now. Well, we pulled the little valve restrictor out so we get a little more air in faster. Hopefully help set the speed. I'm going to throw a little more liquid in here, a little soap and water, back and front. Let's put that on. Alright, we got the beads to set. Starting to take air. There's one. Now we're going to put the valve back in. One thing I forgot to mention is these ones aren't, these tires aren't directional, so I didn't really have to worry about what way my tread is pointing. But if you do have tread, make sure, I think it's really easy for you to forget when you're getting into this mode of getting them all on. You get excited, but make sure you check for the arrows telling you which way the tread's going. Alright, front bead looks good. We need to get our back bead to pop. This one says inflate up to 28 psi for brake, putting the bead on, and then just regular is about 10 to 14 psi. I've only really had to go up to about, I think, 15 to get these to pop, so that's kind of nice. So we got this digital display here, which is handy. There you go. First bead already popped. And this back one just got to bounce around a little bit. Well, we got both of them to the beads to set. Last thing I do is pump up the pressure. Again, one more squirt of soapy water, and I check kind of the front and back bead and around the valve stem to make sure we don't have any bubbles popping through, but this one looks pretty good. So there's the differences. Here's the new tires and there's the old. So we got at least another inch, maybe 2 with new tread, and we went up an inch of tire, but looks pretty good. One more to go and mount them on the Ranger. Well, we got the SUNFs mounted. These are the fronts. There's the old one. So a little bit of an upgrade. Looks like we kind of got another inch or 2 with the tread and the size up. So we fun to try that out. You can hear me breathing. That was a little work, but the 27 by 9 by 12s, they went on a little harder. I guess that trying to get that first bead over the rim was the hardest part, but compared to the bigger ones that I had in the back, the 27 by 11s, those I think just a little more rubber, so they're a little more flexible, but they're on, and I'm gonna go down to the shop and install them on the machine. But the beads popped on really easy with the air. You know, I think it went up to maybe 15, 16 psi to get them to pop on, and I got them set at 13 now, so pretty happy. They look sweet, and they should last a couple seasons for me at least.
Well, we got the tires on, mounted. It's about -20 out right now, so we're not gonna get to take them out quite yet, but next couple days we'll try them out. But definitely got a little bit of a lift with the new tires, but I think they fit good. Should be enough clearance and everything for the fronts. So pretty happy.